Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Realistic Performance League here in Singapore, where we are locked in a very tight championship battle between both the drivers and the constructors standings. Of course, driver standings between Nightshades and Harry, the constructors between Bump and Run Racing and B-Tech Racing, our championship competitors' teams, respectively. I am here, as always, with my co-commentator, Malc, and we are just excited as you are. Malc, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well, mate. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I am ready to get this thing underway and ready to see who is going to be crowned the champion of this season's Realistic Performance League.
Absolutely, and don't get me wrong, all drivers that have been participating from the first race all the way to now, there have been some absolutely unbelievable moments, and we'll never forget it. We will never ever forget it. And to be fair though, I can't believe this is the last race, but when you think about it, Tim, as you said earlier on, we have got the two drivers that are battling out for the drivers, and also the two constructors battling out as well. So I hope everyone's got their pads and calculations ready, because this is going to be a mad race tonight. And do you agree, Tim?
I do agree, Malc, and you know that I have my calculator ready to do any last-minute calculations that we may need to figure out as far as point standings goes. But I'm going to warn everyone right now, I was never that great in math in school, so don't take my word as gospel. You might just want to wait for the official results when our wonderful admins and the people who do the standings update the tables officially. However, what I will tell you is, here's your update for the championship standings. Nightshades has 203 points. He leads the championship standings, with Harry B in second with 196. Those are the only two drivers that have a chance at winning the championship here tonight, and it is a 7-point difference. If Nightshades finishes in third or better, then it does not matter what Harry does, Nightshades will win the championship. If Nightshades finishes outside of the podium, that's when it gets a little bit tricky and a little bit stressful for Nightshades, because Harry only needing to outscore him by 7 points, or gain 8 points technically to get ahead of him. If Harry were to get maximum points and Nightshades finish fourth, Harry gets the championship. So it's going to be a very tight battle all the way to the end.
Absolutely, and don't get me wrong, these two drivers who've had they have had a really great season, and don't get me wrong, I'm hoping that they will produce the one last hurdle to try and battle it out at the Marina Bay track as well. But Harry has done everything he's been trying to do, but Nightshades, who's had so many podiums in a row that he had during the second half of the season that I remembered, I think. But yeah, it was just absolutely so many battles, and I can't wait for this. I really, really cannot wait. But for all the drivers that are watching the stream, well, for anyone that's watching the stream, if you put a vote on who do you think will win the drivers, will it be Nightshades or will it be Harry? That is the big question. One of those two drivers. But later on, I might have to say in the halfway point, who do you think will win the constructors? But that will be when it would be sorted as well. It looks like we're all about to start on the race. Just a reminder, guys, there is no qualifying. This is the last time we are asking for no qualifying, as this is the reverse grid based on the results from last week's Spanish Grand Prix, which is an unbelievable drive, if you can remember from last week, where Matty did a stellar of a drive, Tim.
He really did. It rained last week in Barcelona. Matty was able to get the pole, and then he was able to get the win in dominant fashion, leading almost every lap. Not quite every lap, but almost every lap. So congratulations to Matty. Of course, not one of our championship contenders tonight, but, you know, a win's a win, and you're never going to find a driver that's going to give up a win. But I want to go back to what you were saying earlier, Malc, about the constructor standings, and that is a close battle as well. We haven't really been able to talk about that much today quite yet. But Bump and Run Racing, which is Nightshades and Wojtek, have 349 points, where B-Tech Racing, which is Harry B and Sab, have 346 points. So that championship battle is closer even still. And it's not necessarily a guarantee, but a good chance that the driver who wins the championship tonight will also be on the constructors' winning team. But again, that is by no means a guarantee, especially when the points are as close as they are.
You are absolutely spot on there, Tim, because even if you did a brilliant race, you just hope that your other teammate will do the business as well. And with Nightshades and Wojtek, who have been really good this season for those two, and then also you got Harry and Sab. Sab, who had his first podium last week at what we forgot to mention, he had won he had third place in the Spanish Grand Prix. So I'm hoping that these guys can help, obviously Nightshades and Harry respectively with their teammates. But with Singapore, we do not know what's going to happen, because from what we have seen, there's been some rain during this week, and it's going to be a mad race, wherever happens tonight. And so we'll say it on the stream, I wish everyone, all drivers, including the challengers of the drivers and the constructors, I wish them all the very best of luck, because I'll tell you what, Tim, do you remember last season when there was like 4 or 5 drivers battling out for at Vietnam last season?
I do remember that now.
Now that was so much battles in that race. Do you expect that to happen tonight at the Singapore Grand Prix?
Well, one thing I'm wondering if we're going to see a repeat of is what happened about 2 seasons ago here at this very track in Singapore, where it was Scopefielder and Samu Pepito that was actually battling out for a championship. I don't think that it was the season finale that season. However, it was a very intense battle, which I think Scopefielder was actually the one to triumph out of that and get the win, but not after a lot of carnage and crashes on the final lap. A lot of drivers just pushing these corners a little bit too wide and hitting the wall and actually just being stuck there. And so that would allow the pack behind him to get through. This was 2 seasons ago. The race is still on the Invictus Racing's YouTube channel if you want to watch it afterwards, but it was an intense final 2 laps that saw Scopefielder win the race, but not the championship that season. And I'm wanting to know if it's going to be a nail-biter tonight, just like that one.
I hope so. I reckon we're going to be at the edge of our seats, whatever happens tonight. I think it's going to be so much action-packed. If it's going to be similar to what we have seen, Tim, from all the previous seasons, we have seen majority of the time where a driver and/or constructor has been decided at the last race itself. So I'm quite excited. I know you're dead excited with this, because you just don't know who's going to be out to be perfect at the Singapore Grand Prix. But then again, you've got drivers who have been doing, obviously in the leagues earlier on this week, they've been doing everything they can to produce to this day. It's going to be, I think we're on for a roller coaster ride, and I think we're just going to see what's going to happen tonight, Tim.
Yeah, and right now we're just sitting here in the paddock waiting for the drivers to ready up. The admins are wanting to give them plenty of time to make sure that their setups are correct, but just as we say that, you see the timer starting at the top of the screen, so that means that we are about to go trackside to start our formation lap, the final formation lap of this season in Invictus Racing League. The next season does not start until August, though we will have some end-of-the-season events that you can check out later on. But for now, this is our season closer here, and it's going to be a good one. I am so excited. I wish we could skip the formation lap and get straight to racing, but we got to get those tires warmed up.
Absolutely, and at Singapore, it's not great with the soft tires, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys can capitalise. And as we have just, I'm just getting up the track stuff ready, and you can see majority of the drivers have gone for the safer bet, which is the medium tyres. They can go the one stop, which is the mediums to the hards, but obviously we've not heard anything from the weather crew just yet, and from what we could see anyway, it's going to be a dry start to this Singapore Grand Prix, and I'm sure majority of the drivers will be absolutely delighted with that, because this week we've had a few races where we had the wet scenarios, and it's been absolutely chaos with majority of the drivers this week. But hopefully we're going to see an absolute classic, I think, tonight at the Singapore Grand Prix. But if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League, the YouTube channel as well. Also check out, I believe it's on the Twitch channel, which is Invictus Racing Leagues, for the Xbox Realistic Performance League tonight. I just want to say a big massive thank you to all the commentators for giving up their time to help out this season at Invictus Racing League, and all the staff, admins, everyone that have contributed this season. I will say it again at the end of the stream itself. But the tyre wear around Singapore has always been so the softs can only last about 9 laps fresh, the mediums can only last about 16 to 17 laps fresh, and also I believe the hards can only last about 28 laps. So as I said, medium hards is the way forward for majority of the drivers, which it looks like they're going to do. But looking at Spud nearly lost the front wing part coming up to the last few corners, but some drivers are on the hard tyres as well, so we'll get Tim's thought in a moment too. But as the drivers are going into the starting grid, I'll let you do the honours for the final time, Tim.
And an honor it is each and every week, Malc. I cannot believe we're already at the season finale, but it's going to be a good one, and we're going to make it the best race that we've had all season long. Sir Spud starts on the pole, Burmeister in second, Ginger Tiger in third, Gareth Hall in fourth, Wojtek in fifth, Nightshades in sixth, Nitro Gash seventh, O'Steven in eighth, ninth is Bando Biz, Harry B in 10th, Sab in 11th, 12th is Ryan, DXT Matty in 13th, and then 14th is TL44S. All the drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid, and here we go for one final time. You hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet, the drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the final time for the Invictus Racing League, Realistic Performance League in Singapore. Sir Spud leads him down to turn number 1, followed by Burmeister and Ginger Tiger. Gareth Hall on the racing point back there in 4th place. We're all single file.
Oh, no!
To the back of the packet. Oh my goodness, who was that? That was Sab. No, that was Nitro Gash into the wall. Nitro Gash into the wall and out of this race in the first corner on lap 1. Unfortunate for Nitro Gash, but we are still under green. Everyone else is mostly single file, but it looks like we now have a safety car mount.
Yeah, it is. We have the safety car. From what I just saw, it looks like Nitro Gash and O'Steven were tangled together at turn 2. So yeah, it was just I've got it on the replay itself, and it's been a mad start. We will need to have a look at it again afterwards, but the way it looked as if O'Steven and Nitro Gash had collided, and because the two drivers went off track, they hit the wall, and unfortunately for Nitro Gash, he's out of the race. And with 13 drivers remaining in Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, the safety car is just kicking off now and again, and it looks like we're back up to racing now, Tim. It was the virtual safety car, I believe. Yeah, it is the virtual safety car.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a communication issue there. It was the virtual safety car, not the full safety car, but we are back under green now as we watch Ginger Tiger there in the 3rd position, giving chase to Burmeister just ahead of him, and Sir Spud still leads this race, and it looks like he'll be able to lead lap 1 if he can get through these next few corners. But Burmeister is really starting to close the gap on Sir Spud, so Spud might want to think about kicking into overdrive here, but it is only lap 1, 0.8 of a second separating first and second. Let's go take a look at our championship contenders. First things first, Nightshades in the McLaren. He's riding just behind Wojtek. Nightshade's just trying to do everything that he can, and so far he's doing what he's supposed to do. He is outscoring Harry B in points, which means that if the race were to finish this very moment, Nightshades would be crowned the season champion. But we still have a long way to go. It's only lap 3 of 31. We'll take a look at Harry B now back here in the Alpha Tower. He is battling with his car allocated teammate of Bando Biz, and a little bit of a lockup from Harry as Bando Biz is actually holding him up. So Bando in the way of Harry, who just wants to move forward and challenge his championship rival.
Absolutely, and Harry cannot stay behind Bando during this race because he wants to try and catch up to Wojtek and Nightshades, who are both in 5th and 6th. Sab just behind as well in the Red Bull in 10th place. So, like I said, not a good start for BTEC racing at the moment. I know it's early doors, but if it was like this now, come at the end of the race, not what you need to be at this stage. But again, Singapore, anything could happen in the F1 racing itself, and it's going to be just hoping that there will be a few battles galore, as we always like to see. But at the moment, Spud is doing everything he can to hold on in first in that Mercedes car. Then Burmeister is in second, Ginger Tiger is in third, Gareth Hall is in fourth. What's happened, Tim?
And I think Bando Biz just lost a front wing. Yes, he did, and he went very wide in the final corner. So Bando Biz might be losing that position to Harry after all, because he clipped the wall and he's lost part of his front wing. The right side end plate is completely off of that car. So now the question is, does Bando Biz let Harry B go, or does he still battle for this position? Because Harry, you know he's got to be stressed out right now, because he can literally see Nightshades a few cars ahead of him. But seeing Nightshades ahead of him with semi-clean air ahead of him versus himself, who has an AlphaTauri, and oh, look at Bando Biz trying to go underneath Ryan, not able to do it. Harry goes around the outside of Bando Biz now. He's going to be able to make the move. Bando Biz gets a little bit loose, but there goes Harry. Move him up into the 8th position. Good job to Harry. That's one driver down. Now he's got to chase down Ryan in that Renault.
Absolutely, and Sab dropped himself down to 12th place. Must have had a bit of contact between a few of the drivers at the back of the grid, but also while you was watching that, Tim, it looked like Nightshades gone past his proper teammate Wojtek in from 6th place, and now he's moved up to 5th. So at the moment, as things stand, it will be Bump and Run Racing who could be on with the perfect points. But then again, we don't want to jinx anything at all. But again, we're on lap 3 of 31 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, and it's been an absolute blast to start off with, Tim.
Yeah, and you know, DRS is going to be activated very soon, or actually lap 3 it already is active. So I'd say that we're going to start to see a lot of drivers make a lot of gutsy moves, and there you see Nightshades with the DRS on Gareth Hall up there in 4th, so that really helped Nightshades down that tiny little straightaway on the front stretch there. So Nightshades just trying to give chase to that Racing Point machine. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he seems like he's got a very fast car today, so he's more than likely going for that podium position just to ensure that no matter what, he does get that championship at the end of the night. So we'll take a look at the 2 Racing Points of Gareth Hall and Ginger Tiger. They're mainly just running nose to tail in a nice single file line.
Oh, sorry, we got 2 wide. We got 2 wide between Harry and Ryan. Harry's making the move on the outside, the inside. He's going to go around the outside. Oh, what a move! What a move there from Harry. That is a brilliant move there from Harry. Now he's going to try and chase Wojtek in 6th place. Tim, sorry.
And Wojtek, he is not going to let up, because Wojtek knows what's on the line. And you got to remember, Wojtek is going for his own championship. He is going for that Constructors' Championship. So he is not going to give Harry any room whatsoever to get by him, because he cares about this championship. And plus, you got to think that Nightshades and Wojtek are talking to each other, and Wojtek's probably wanting to hold Harry up a little bit to give his teammate the best chance at the Drivers' Championship. So now Harry doesn't have any friends in front of him, because both of them are Bump and Run Racing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with Harry trying to add some good moves, to be fair, caught Bando Biz caught napping, shall we say, and then we've got Ryan also with a great move round the outside. And now it looks like Harry's got that slipstream and a great exit. And now Harry's going to try and make the move on the inside of turn 1. He's going to be inside. Wojtek have to go off track a little bit, but Harry made the move. And now he's had a great opportunity to move himself up to 6th place. But Wojtek on that Ferrari should have an opportunity to try and bite back. But then again, you've got a couple of drivers ahead who have got the DRS. And now Harry and Nightshades, Tim, they're on 5th and 6th. And Gareth Hall is in the 3rd place. Ginger Tiger drops down to 4th.
And now here's when the battle gets incredibly dicey. Look at that. Harry using every bit of track that he can. Nightshade's got a good run out of that corner, but then Harry closed the gap on the entry of the next corner. And now Nightshades is battling out with Ginger Tiger. And Harry tries to send it in there, but cannot make the move around Nightshades. There was really nowhere for Harry to go, and he knew that. So the best that he can do is stay locked to the back of that McLaren as best as he can and try to look for a hole. He might be able to use Ginger Tiger as a pick if he can get a better run out of a corner than Nightshades, but at this moment I think that Nightshades is just a little bit better than Harry, but they both had DRS, so really no favors for either of them, but no disadvantages for them either. But I'd say that here goes Harry underneath of Nightshades. I was going to say that he wants the DRS to try to make a move, but he doesn't need the DRS to make a move is what he just told me. He might need it to complete the pass, though, as Nightshades is still trying to give chase to Ginger Tiger, but I'd say that he's mostly looking in his mirror, trying to keep that AlphaTauri behind him more than he's trying to get around that racing point ahead of him.
Absolutely, and now he's got the DRS to try and get a good exit at... he's going to try and close the gap, but Nightshades is pulling away massively and trying to close into Ginger Tiger, who had a good race in the F3 race last night in the F3 League as well. We've got Burmeister trying to close up to Spud in between 1st and 2nd, but still the battle between 4th, 5th and 6th of Ginger Tiger, Nightshades and Harry.
And
Spud is trying to stop that. Oh, and Nightshades has gone ahead. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Tim. It looks like Nightshades has gone ahead of Ginger Tiger now for 4th place.
Oh, contact! Harry got into the back of Ginger Tiger. Is there wing damage on the AlphaTauri? I think it's okay from the last shot that I saw, but I get this helicopter view at the moment. I can't see the wing. I think Harry is okay, but there was just a little bit of minor contact into that corner, so Harry got very lucky to have not picked up any damage on his front wing. But here he goes again, trying to go around the racing point. He goes on the inside, and oh my goodness, Ginger Tiger shuts the door on him. Ginger Tiger shut the door. Harry B is going to have to try to find another way around that pink Mercedes before he gets up to Nightshades.
I tell you what, Harry is really desperately need to get past Ginger Tiger, and he's trying every single thing, but at the moment he nearly got caught. It looks like he's okay with the wing damage, the wings. Yeah, he's alright with the wings at the moment from what I could see, but it looks like there's some debris underneath the grandstand, so I'm not sure where that come from. But now we've got Bando, who's got the 3-second tie band. Oh my god, Harry's just lost himself the back end as well. Now Spud drops himself down. No, he hasn't. He's going to the pits. He's going to the pits. A bit of an early pit stop for Spud, but then he might try and go onto the hards as quickly as possible. But now we've got this train going on from 3rd, well, actually from 4th downwards, to be fair, Tim. It's going to be absolutely manic.
And this is the Ginger Tiger train, it seems like, because he's there in 4th place, and all these cars are forming up behind him. And here goes Harry trying to go around him. He's looking on the inside. Is he going to be able to clear him? They're side by side. Harry moves into the 4th position, but now Ginger Tiger tries to do a crossover move and go back around the outside of Harry. Harry shuts the door on him this time, and Harry stays in 4th. Now he gives chase to his championship rival of Nightshades, but Nightshades is in 3rd. So Nightshades can win the championship from this position no matter where Harry is. So now Harry it's not just about beating his championship rival. It's about his championship rival having a bad night.
Absolutely, and at the moment I can't see that happening. Again, that could be a commentator's curse. We just don't know what's going to happen from this situation. At the moment, as things stand, Nightshades is in the podium that he could at least guarantee to... Even if Harry wins with the fastest lap, Nightshades, all he has to do is just finish off in 3rd place, as pretty much guaranteed to confirm, because that's the maximum points that Harry cannot reach. And we'll give a reminder of the points in a moment too, but we're on lap 7 of 31 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. And Burmeister, could he win his first race of the season? That is the big question, but at the moment he's doing an absolute stellar job getting ahead of Spud earlier on, and he's dropped himself all the way down to 13th and trying to chase up Ryan in 12th place, but Bando's in the pits. But yeah, we just don't know where to go from this, and it's just been an absolute belter of a race tonight.
That it has. Burmeister leads, and if Burmeister were to win this race, this would actually be his very first win in the Invictus Racing League, so you know that the pressure is on for him. We may be paying attention to the championship battle, but Burmeister has his own battle that he's fighting right now, and so far he's doing a very good job, 3.6 seconds ahead of Gareth Hall in second place. So as long as there are no safety cars and Burmeister is able to keep close to this pace, he should be okay to stay ahead and win this race. But of course you got to remember that this is Invictus Racing League and this is Singapore. Anything can happen and anything will happen, as we now have a battle between our championship contenders. Harry B getting close to Nightshades, thought about making a move on the inside of him, but just could not fill that hole in time. And one thing that both of these drivers want is, no matter who wins the championship, they want a nice clean battle all the way to the end, and that's what we're seeing now. It's a hard battle, it's a very hard fought battle, but it's nice and clean. You're not going to see these drivers disrespecting one another.
Absolutely not, absolutely not. But obviously you want to try and get as much of the battles and be fair to one another, because obviously with the title race at stake, both drivers and the constructors. And Harry is going into the pits. Harry is going himself into the pits. So Nightshade needs to push for one unbelievable lap now to try and get into the pits as quickly as possible. But at the moment, Burmeister is in first, Gareth Hall is in second, Nightshade is in third, Wojtek is in fourth, TL4 is in fifth, Matty is in sixth, O'Stephen is in seventh, Sab is in 8th. Harry and Ginger Tiger are in the pits in 9th and 10th respectively. Ryan is in 11th, Spud is in 12th, and Bando is in 13th place. With Nightshades getting close to Gareth Hall, who's in 2nd place at the moment, Tim.
Yeah, in Nightshades, he is really putting the pressure on Gareth Hall. Gareth Hall running in 2nd. This would be his best finish of the season if Gareth is able to finish in 2nd place tonight. He has not really had the best of seasons that he's hoped for. In fact, I don't believe he's even had a podium. I'll give you confirmation on that here in just a moment. But nonetheless, the F1 commentator doing a fairly good job today at holding off one of our potential champions of the night.
Absolutely, and just a bit of a recap, Gareth Hall has not had a podium. The best finish that he's had, or highest position, was 5th, and that was at the British Grand Prix. That was his best finish with 16 points. So yeah, 5th place was his best finish of this season. Can he emulate that? Who knows? Who knows? But it just depends on some of the drivers who will try and go for it, because obviously this is the last race of the season and everything will be needed to be going for. And now Nightshades is in the pits. Nightshades is now in the pits. So Harry, where's Harry now? Harry is coming up to the under the grandstand section, so he needs to try and push now. He needs to try and push now, because Ryan is getting chasing Harry for 9th place. But yeah, absolute stellar job for all these drivers. And now I wonder if... Oh, sorry Tim, carry on.
Now, is Harry going to be able to beat Nightshades out of the pits? I don't believe so. I don't believe so, but did he just do it? Yes, he did. Harry beat Nightshades out of the pits. The undercut worked. Harry is now ahead of his championship competitor. Oh,
that is a good... I know, that is unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. But now, can Harry... All Harry has to do... depending on where the positions are at the moment, the best position that you have to be is like right at the top in first. But with everything going on at the back of the grid, at the mid pack, majority of the drivers will have to pit at some point during the race. But it's going to be... I'm on the edge. We're all on the edge of our seats, because we want to know what's going to happen. Because at the moment, Harry's gone ahead of Nightshades by the undercut. But then again, Harry has got a lap of that hard tyres already, but Nightshade is going to try and warm up those tyres as much as possible. But bear that in mind, you've got to be careful because there's going to be some unbelievable moments, Tim.
Now, Malc, I need to ask you about how long does a driver spend in the pit lane here at Singapore from the moment he pulls in until the moment he pulls out? How many seconds do you know?
The pit stop that I believe is about 22 to 23 seconds.
Okay,
so
then if that is the case, then Harry will not be able to get into first place, but he should be able to get into third. I'm looking at the time interval right now. Harry has been eating away at that just a little bit. He's 26 seconds behind Burmeister at the moment. He was 28 seconds about a lap ago. So Harry is slowly but surely eating away at that gap, trying to get close. But if Burmeister pitted this time, I still do not believe that Harry would be close to passing him. But if he can get into third place and stay there and keep Nightshades behind him, then maybe, just maybe, he'll have a chance to improve his position just a little bit more and get that championship. This is going to be a very tight battle. Nightshades definitely came in here with the advantage. 7 points to the good. And as we've said, if Nightshades finishes third or better, it does not matter what Harry does, Nightshades will win the championship. But that is the clinch scenario for Nightshades. He has to finish third. And at the moment, Harry, it looks like he is in the third position, so now it would lie on where Nightshades would finish at the end of this race. We're not quite halfway there, but already we're seeing the tides change from what it looked like about 5 to 10 laps ago.
Absolutely. But then again, that time could be differ depending on if they had front wing damage as well, so you got to take that into consideration as well. Now Burmeister is going himself into the pits, and looks like Wojtek is going to the pits now. TL Press is going to keep going because he's on the hard tyres, and Gareth Hall is also in the pits. So the drivers that are in the top three now in the pits. Matty with the hard tyres, keep going. Is O'Stephen going to go into the pits? No, he's going to keep going. The Mercedes driver, who had a bit of contact earlier on in the race itself, now he's got himself into third. Contact with Nitrogash. He's now got himself into third. Harry is in fourth. Sab is in fifth. Nightshades and Wojtek are now in 8th and 11th place. Bear in mind though, Sab will have to pit because he started off in the hards. He hasn't pitted yet, and we'll get that clarified. So TL for S, Matty, O'Stephen and Sab. It looks like Sab and Ryan has had a bit of contact. There's been contact between 5th and 6th place. So I don't know if Sab has lost front wing. I need to check. No, he hasn't. He hasn't lost front wing damage, but he's been trying to hold on as much as possible. Now Burmeister, now Nightshades are closing in on Sab for 6th place. Now Sab, he's going to try and... Oh, there's been contact. There's been contact again. Burmeister went to the back of Sab. Not front wing damage at all, but now Harry's got himself into third. Burmeister's going to try and make the move on the inside. Still battling out. Now Nightshades and Sab still side by side. 2 wide, but Sab will have to keep on the inside. Has he lost it? He's lost the back end. I think they might be, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, he might have caught the curb and lost the back end. But Nightshades has got ahead of Sab.
He slid around a little bit, but he is still just behind Nightshades, Sab is. But there was some contact between him and Nightshades, and Sab did spin he slid rather, not spin, but almost spun around. But Nightshades was able to muscle his way by that Red Bull driver, now giving chase to Burmeister just behind him. So now Harry in third place. He might just be able to inherit this lead once TL4 for S and Matty pit. So that would be the best thing for Harry, especially considering that Ryan would be second and Burmeister would be third. If Nightshades got into that third position, then it would all be over for Harry in the championship battle. So now Harry needs to make friends with Burmeister and just pray that Renault driver can keep the McLaren behind him.
He'll be praying everything to hold on, but again, We're on lap 13, Tim. There's so many laps to go. There's about 17 to 18 laps to go. Anything could happen in F1. Look what happened a few times in the Invictus Racing League in the histories. There's been a few times where the race has been going down all the way down to the wire, and it's always been. You can never write anyone off. You can never ever write anyone off, because until that finishing line appears, the checkered flag. That's all I'm going to say. I don't, Gareth Hall's getting closer to Sab for 7th place, but overall, I think this is we're really intense at the minute, Tim.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look at the battle between Sav and Gareth Hall, because this does affect the constructor standings as well. Sab, of course, with VTech Racing, along with Harry, while Wojtek and Nightshades with Bump and Run Racing are running 10th for Wojtek and 6th for Nightshades, respectively.
Absolutely, and still watch this battle. Nightshades getting closer to Burmeister by a second. Gareth Hall just under by 7/10. Bando is getting close to Spud for 11th place, and he might overtake Spud on the DRS straight. It's coming up now, so we'll watch that quickly. See how Bando can get close to Spud's going to keep on the left-hand side. Bando's going to try and keep on the racing line on the round the outside. Bit of contact between the two drivers, but is Spud going to try and make the move? No, he doesn't. Spud, who started off in first place, at the moment he's dropped himself down to 12th place, Tim.
Yeah, so Sir Spud, after starting on the pole today, has not had the best of races. It looked like he was going to go good for him there for a while, but once Burmeister got around him, Sir Spud just could do nothing else, and he just started dropping like a rock. He pitted fairly early, and that strategy did not work out for him, so that's why you see him battling with Bando Biz all the way in the 11th and 12th positions. So let's go back and take a look at Burmeister, our used-to-be leader. He is 1.9 seconds behind Ryan, and 1.5 seconds ahead of Nightshades. Burmeister does have a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and as does Ryan just ahead of him. So both Renault drivers with 3 seconds worth of time penalties. That is not good for Harry, because that means that no matter that, even if Nightshades were to finish 4th, he could still pass at least one of these drivers to claim the championship. So now Harry needs to be thinking, Harry needs to run his race. He needs to just do what he's doing. But if he had the view that we do, then he would be thinking, okay, I just need to find a way to make sure that those guys are able to stay ahead of Nightshades, which he has no control over, which would feel very powerless. But what isn't powerless for him is how he's chasing down Matty in this Ferrari. Matty has lasted 14 laps on those hard tires. So TL Forprez and Matty both go into hard to medium strategy, so they should be out there for a while longer yet. But this is allowing Harry to get close to Matty, because he is on slightly newer hard tires, and we might be seeing a move for the 2nd place sooner rather than later.
Hopefully sooner rather than later, but there's been a battle going on. Sab dropped down to 8th. Gareth Hall moves up to 7th. Wojtek nearly made the move on Jutta Tiger for 9th, but not enough to get past as quickly as possible. But it just depends. Harry's going to try and go on the inside. Oh my God, no! Bando has left his car. Hopefully he'll try and get back in as quickly as possible. But at the moment, Harry needs to get past Matty as quickly as possible. And with those tyre wear that Matty's got, hopefully he'll try and hold on.
Did you see
What's
Harry?
happened?
He got very, very loose out of that corner. He was going completely the wrong way, was able to save it. He's got the DRS on Matty, but is he going to be able to make the move? He's not close enough. So he's going to have to follow this Ferrari through this 1st and 2nd and 3rd corners, but he might have a bit of a run on him on this next straightaway here. Matty gets a good exit, but will Harry be able to get a better exit out of this next corner? This is where it counts. Harry can make the move, and Matty gets loose. Matty gets loose, and Harry goes around Matty as Matty drops behind him to third. So move Harry up into second, move Matty back to third, but is Matty going to fight back? He's trying to. He's trying to get close to Harry, but not able to do it. Both of them go a little bit wide. Matty clipped that corner just a little bit. That could have been bad for him. It looked like he got the car just a little bit upset, but he was able to recover. But those tires on Matty's car are definitely not doing him any favors at all.
Absolutely, and also Harry has got himself a penalty from his car, so he's got a 3-second time penalty, which I believe for multiple warnings. So as things stand, obviously Burmeister will drop down to fifth if it was staying like this. So Nightshades in fourth, Harry in second. Now if my calculations are correct, so Harry would have 22 tonight, depending on the situation. Harry will be on 22. Nightshades, if it stays like this, obviously he'll move himself up to fourth. So still the 5-point gap. That is still the 5-point gap. Not enough to get the gap if it was staying like this. Nightshades would have needed to stay, drop down a few more positions for Harry to hold on. But again, this is quite intense stuff. Now, while you're watching the drivers itself, guys, what do you think is going to happen with the constructors? Do you think bump and run racing, which is I believe Nightshades and Wojtek, or will it be BTEC racing that of Sab and Harry B to win the constructors? We mentioned about it earlier to say who was going to win for the drivers, but as a vote on the chat itself, but not yet. But obviously we'll try and hear your thoughts of the constructors itself. But here we go, we've got a battle for 7th place, Tim, between Sab, Ginger Tiger and Wojtek. Now this is quite interesting, especially with the constructors itself, because if Wojtek can get past Ginger Tiger, that is a great opportunity to close the gap onto Sab. But then again, Sab has got a 3-second time penalty. So the drivers that are on BTEC, they both have got the 3-second time penalties, which is not good at the moment. But then again, it all depends on if the guys can try and keep a composure, Tim.
Yeah, and this is really kind of like the Sab train that we're looking at the moment, with Sab ahead of Ginger Tiger and Wojtek. He's got 16 laps on his hard tires, while Ginger Tiger has 7 laps. Wojtek has 4 laps. And, you know, as you said, this is part of the constructor standings battle. So Sab, running into 7th place, is just trying to hang on, get as many points as he can for BTEC Racing, but that's one less point that he's going to be able to score because Ginger Tiger just went around him on the inside, and now this might be 2 for 1 because Wojtek is trying to go around him as well. So you got the number 2 drivers in the standings battling out for the constructors title here, while you've got the number 1 drivers in the standings battling out for the driver's standings and the constructors title.
Absolutely, and every battle that we see, you just never know what to expect back. It looks like Burmeister and Matty having a good battle for 3rd place, but also the battle between Sab and Wojtek is still heated up massively. But now Nightshades is going to get closer to Matty, was under a second, but I'm wondering if Sab can try and hold on as much as possible. But then again, he will be on the medium tyres coming to this pit stop, wherever that will be. But hopefully, I think some of the drivers will be relying that there will be a safety car as things stand. But looking at the penalties itself, I suppose the biggest penalty picker of 11 seconds, Burmeister was 6 seconds, and the others, TL4S, Harry, Ginger Tiger, Sab, and also Bando. Bando is out and retired in the pits, Tim.
So unfortunate for Bando Biz, after starting somewhere in the mid-pack, is now not even going to score points today. But we'll take a look at Nightshades now, because he's starting to get closer to DXT Matty in that Ferrari. Nightshades had a little bit of a moment off of the last corner, slid just a little bit, but was able to hang on to it and still give chase to this Ferrari. And as we've said, Nightshades is just doing everything that he has to do tonight. So we're right on board with this McLaren, and he's really taking it easy through these corners. So he knows that if the race were to finish now, he would be the champion. So Nightshades, he really doesn't have to push. He just has to get around Matty just for a little bit of insurance. He doesn't even have to do it outright, because Matty still does have to pit eventually. And I'm sure that he will. But if Nightshades can just minimize his risk-taking then he should be smooth sailing for the rest of this, while Harry is the one that's really stressing. And to make matters worse, he seems to have picked up a time penalty, probably for multiple warnings. As we take a look at that, it's 3 seconds for Harry B for multiple warnings, so very unfortunate for Harry there. That's the last thing that he needed tonight in this race. So as we go back, let's take a look at the battle between Sab and Wojtek, because that's heating up. There was some contact as Wojtek was able to muscle his way around Sab, and now we got Sir Spud behind Sab, who might want to stick his hat into the ring. So Sab really dancing around with that Red Bull. Sir Spud, who started on the pole, just trying to make his way up through the field as much as he can, get as many points as he can at the end of the day. Sab's got the DRS, but so does Sir Spud. Sir Spud really threads the needle and goes underneath of Sab and clears him before they get to the corner. Moves Sir Spud up into the 9th position as he gives chase to Wojtek now in that Ferrari.
Yeah, hopefully Sir Spud, who started off in first, hopefully he'll try and challenge Wojtek for it. That might help Sab to get close again. Oh, he's hit the wall, Sab! Has he lost front wing? He has his lost front wing. He's lost front wing on the right-hand side, so his wing is going to be absolutely damaged. So he'll have to go into the pits pretty much now to stand any chance, but he will hopefully hope that he'll hope that he'll have the safety car as well tonight. But we're on lap 20. We're on lap 20 of 31 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Please, please, please make sure you like, subscribe. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Please, that's all we ask for. At least 10 likes. And also check out our social media sites on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And also check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest news and all the latest updates.
Oh my goodness, Sir Spuddy hit the wall underneath the bridge. There is some wing damage on that Mercedes. He's going to have to pit. So Sir Spud's day is just getting worse after starting from the pole. It has just been a downhill run for Sir Spud. So he dives into the pits, will minimize his time loss because of how close the incident happened to the pit lane, but he is still going to be at the very back of this pack once he gets back out.
Absolutely, and Ryan's getting close to O'Stephen in 8th place. O'Stephen's gone a little bit wide, lost the back end. Ryan, who's on the hard tyres itself, he's going to go around. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to do the old switcheroo. Is he going to do it? No. I thought the way it looked as if he's got the old switcheroo, but he should have the DRS. He should have the DRS to try and close the gap. And he's going to try and go on the around the outside on the racing line point. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff there from Ryan, making a move on the DRS situation. Moves him up to 8th place, Tim.
And when he tried to do that crossover move, there was actually a little bit of contact, so Ryan was very lucky to have not had any front wing damage stemming from that contact. So that allowed him to keep the pace, to be able to make the move around O'Stephen in the next corner. Ryan, of course, is on fresh, hard tires. He was running in about the 3rd position earlier when he had to pit for those hard tires. So he should be good for the rest of this race. It's lap 20 of 31, just 12 more laps to go until we crown a champion, 12 more laps to go until we crown a winner as TL4S goes into the pit. So that means that Harry is now leading this race. Harry, the driver who has not won a race all season, but seems to have kept himself relevant in the championship fight, would want nothing more than for Nightshades to drop just one final position. Nightshades is in 3rd. If the race were to end at the moment, Nightshades would still be the champion. But if Nightshades were to drop down to 4th, then Harry would still stand a chance.
Harry would still stand a chance, but we'll get that confirmation of the points itself in a moment too. But at the moment, it looks like Matty is going to be closer to O'Stephen for 9th. TL4S, Tim, watch out for him. He's on the medium tyres, and he's in the top 5. So he could produce a shock if he could try and get close to Gareth Hall and also to Nightshade. So watch out for the next 5 or 6 laps from TL4S. Tim.
Yes, and to get confirmation, if Harry were to win this race and Nightshades were to finish 4th, Harry would win the championship by 1 single point. 25 points awarded for the winner. An extra point if you have the fastest lap. For 4th place, it is 17 points awarded. For 3rd place, where Nightshades is running now, that is 20 points awarded, which would mean that if Nightshades were to finish in 3rd, that would bring his points total up to 223. If he finishes 3rd with Harry in 1st, then that would mean that Harry's points total is 221. So that just shows you how close this points battle is.
it's I do agree, Tim. It's just mad stuff. And it looks like Matty nearly try and make the move on O'Stephen for 9th place, but you're right there, Tim. The point situation is absolutely crucial, especially when everything's on the line. Everything is on the line itself. But hopefully we'll see a few unbelievable moments. Look at TL4S getting right close to Gareth Hall. Gareth Hall's going to be on the right hand side. TL4S is going to go around the outside. TL4S making the move on the... Oh my god, has he got the DRS? Yes, he has. He's got the DRS. He's got the DRS from Gareth Hall just beforehand. And now, what a move from TL4S. Moves himself up to 4th, Tim.
TL4S found himself in a lucky position, being in the detection zone behind Gareth Hall, but then being able to make the pass before he was able to open the DRS, so that helped him out. And you know that Gareth, he had to be fuming when he saw that rear wing open up and he have no DRS. And look at that, it looked like TL4S almost had DRS again. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I have no idea what I'm seeing now. But TL4S running in 4th after leading this race for quite a long time, but he started on the hard, so he had to pit for the medium tires. Has done a magnificent job working his way up into what is now the 4th position, but that might be as far as he's going, because his next competitor is Nightshades, his car allocated teammate, and that is 5.6 seconds ahead of him. You can't even see Nightshades when you look from the halo of TL4S.
Absolutely not. And again, TL4S had that 3-second time penalty. I believe 3-second time penalty. But again, he's also on the fresh tyres, so I did say watch out for him in the next few laps. And now Matty and O'Stephen still battling out side by side. Brilliant move there from Matty round the outside. And the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix last week, Matty, gone ahead of O'Stephen for 9th place. So good overtake there from Matty, Tim.
Yeah, Matty, he is looking very fast right now. Of course, he had to put those medium tires on, so he's not where he was running earlier. He was, I believe, as high as 2nd place, now all the way down to 9th, but trying to give chase to his car allocated teammate of Wojtek. And Wojtek, he's not going to give up the position very easily, because as we've said, he is still battling for that Constructor's title, along with Nightshades, who is running in 3rd. So Wojtek is out there scratching and clawing for every single point that he can get. So Matty, catching him is one thing, passing him is a different ball game that Matty's going to have to play. But there's really not a lot of battles that is occurring at the moment on the racetrack. The drivers have really gotten spread out. O'Stephen is still about 1.4 seconds behind Matty, and Sir Spud is 1.2 seconds behind Sab. Sab, of course, not having a very good day. He's the other driver who is battling for the constructor standings. He is the teammate of Harry with BTEC Racing, and Sab is just not had the best of days whatsoever. He is not in dead last, and he's still out there scoring points. He's just not where he needs to be, nor where he really would like to be, but he did have contact with the wall earlier, and he had some front wing damage, so that would explain why he's all the way back into the pack. But let's take a look at Nightshades now. He is 4.2 seconds out of 2nd place and 2.3 seconds ahead of 4th place. Harry has a 3-second time penalty, so if the race were to end now, he would still win the race. Burmeister, he has a 3-second time penalty, so if the race were to end now, Burmeister actually has a 6-second time penalty, so if the race were to end now, he would drop down to 3rd, and Nightshades would get 2nd place.
Absolutely, and that's all Nightshades has to do. But then he's got that challenge of TL4S to watch out for in the next few laps. But then also you got Matty and Wojtek also battling now, and this is quite interesting stuff. Obviously, we've had to ignore the penalties. If it was stayed like this, which I doubt it, but Nightshades and Wojtek, they would have 35 points if Nightshades moved to 2nd. Wojtek drops down to 9th. Matty moves himself up to 8th. So Wojtek, I'll say that again, I stand corrected. So Nightshades 22, 34 of the constructor points. Harry and Sab 35. That's 2-point gap. Like 1 point gap, 1 point gained, but still the 2-point gap is between those two constructor teams, and that is absolutely crucial. That's at this moment in time. like the manual calculation itself for the constructors. So, oh my god, this is going to be mad! This is going to be mad stuff!
That still won't be enough though, Malc. You got to remember that, because Bump and Run Racing have 349, B-Tech have 346 going into this race, and the points total might change a little bit more because TL4S is really getting close, and Nightshade's really barreling down on his car allocated teammate, but TL4S, he's got a time penalty as well. He's got 3 seconds worth of time penalty, so he is going to have to get around Nightshade and then keep Nightshade's behind him. He's going to have to get out to a 3-second gap, but TL4S, he might be able to do it. He has got fresh medium tires. Nightshade has old hard tires, so it's a battle of who is faster and who has the better tires, and TL4S is going underneath Nightshade's. They're side by side, and TL4S has cleared Nightshade's, move him into the 3rd position. It's the same car, just a different driver in that podium position, and that is what Harry wanted to see. But it still does not mean that Harry's going to be champion, because TL4S has to get out to at least a 3-second gap ahead of Nightshades and stay there before Harry can even think about celebrating.
Absolutely. No, Stephen's dropped himself into the pits. So he's into the pits itself, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, we're still in the pits. It looks like Nightshade's still dropped down to 4th. Ryan is getting closer to Ginger Tiger for 6th and 7th respectively. Sav and Spud are also looking out for that battle for 10th and 11th respectively. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is really interesting. The battles galore, shall we say. So who will try? And it's like, this is mad. This is absolutely mad. And this is what we love about the performance of Ghana and Invictus itself, because it's the unexpected results. You're just going to get some different winners or different podium sitters, and that's what we love about the Performance League, Tim.
Yeah, and currently watching Ryan get very close to Ginger Tiger here. Ryan trying to get around this Racing Point machine, but Ginger Tiger's not making it easy for him at all. I thought that Ryan could have very well got around him, but even if he does, there's still time penalties that's going to bite Ryan in the back end if he doesn't get far enough gap ahead of Ginger Tiger. Of course, Ginger Tiger has 3 seconds worth of time penalties as well. In fact, just about half of the drivers in this field have picked up time penalties of some sort, as you can see on your screen now, as you still watch Ryan and Ginger Tiger battle it out. There's a DRS zone coming up here soon. This might be Ryan's big chance. They both get a very good exit. Ryan a little bit sideways on that exit, but is able to hang on to it. Ginger Tiger drops down low to break the slipstream, but Ryan does the crossover, and he's underneath of Ginger Tiger, and he clears him. Move Ryan up into the 6th position. Ginger Tiger back to 7th.
Good move there from Ryan. Now he's going to try and push on to try and close the gap onto Gareth. I know it's 11 seconds of a gap itself, but hopefully he'll try and get as close to him as possible. But at the moment, Harry is in 1st. Burmeister is in 2nd. TL4S is in 3rd. Nightshade is in 4th. Gareth Hall is in 5th. Ryan is in 6th. Matty in 7th. Ginger Tiger in 8th. Wojtek in 9th. Sab in 10th. Spud 11th. Stephen 12th. And Bando and Nitrogash are the only drivers who are out of the Performance League for the final race of this season. I can't believe it. Season 12 has been an absolute blast. And we got 5 laps remaining, guys. 5 laps remaining. Can Harry hold on, or can Nightshades pull off the unthinkable and win the Drivers' Championship? We will get the Constructors' points. Try and get calculated as well at the same time. But at the moment, that's what we've got at the time at lap 23, I think it was 24. But yeah, brilliant race it has been.
And keep an eye on that time interval now. Nightshades is 4 seconds behind TL4S, but I'm still not sure if it's going to be enough, because Burmeister has 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and TL4S is barreling down on Burmeister. Burmeister having to turn up the heat a little bit to try to pull away from this McLaren, and so far he's done a decent job of keeping him behind him. He's minimizing how much TL4S gains on him, but it is an inevitable fact of life that TL4S is going to catch Burmeister and very likely get around him. TL4S has 5 laps on those medium tires. Burmeister has 14 on those hard tires. So it is an inevitable fact that TL4S will catch him. It's almost an inevitable fact that TL4S will get around Burmeister, and that could decide the championship battle. We have to keep an eye on Burmeister's penalties. but Harry's got to be careful to not pick up another time penalty. TL4S, he's got to be careful to not pick up another time penalty, otherwise he won't be able to get second place, and Nightshades especially has to be sure to not pick up a time penalty whatsoever, or all of his chances of winning the championship will be out the window.
Absolutely, and I'm looking at the interval for the leader itself. So at the moment it'd be around 13.4 would be the gap between Burmeister when you had the 6 seconds. So Nightshades will still be moved up to third. Nightshades will still be moved up to third at this stage. So it might be the gap is going to be intense stuff. And now TL4S is going to make the move on Burmeister. And he does get past. He does get past. So now we should have the gap between Burmeister and Nightshade. So the two drivers who are battling out for the interval, still 4.3 seconds of a gap. So now, if Burmeister can try and push now, he needs to try and push, because otherwise, at the moment Nightshade could attack. He's going to the 4-second barrier. So this is going to be absolutely mad race. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure to subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well. So
and here's the thing, Malc. Burmeister does not care about the championship battle. He does not care at all who wins the championship. All he cares about is getting a podium here today. He has not won a race yet at all in the Invictus Racing League. And unfortunately for him, he's going to have to wait at least another race, because that's not going to happen tonight. However, he still does have a chance at the podium if, only if, he is able to get 6 seconds ahead of Nightshades and stay there. We have 3 laps remaining, and Nightshades is 4.1 seconds behind Burmeister. At the moment, that is not enough for Burmeister to hold on to that podium, and simultaneously, not enough for Harry to hold on to the championship lead.
Absolutely not. But with TL4S doing a brilliant job to get into the podium from that medium tyre stint that he has been doing so far in the second half of this race, it's been an absolute stellar of a job. But as you said, Burmeister, he's doing everything he can to try and get the podium, but he's got to try and push on and try and avoid hitting that wall as much as possible. But again, you never know what's going to happen in the next 3 laps. 3 laps is going to be all decided for the drivers and sorting out with the constructors as well. But 4.5 seconds of the gap between Burmeister and Nightshades, and everyone's all having a gap. So it's going to be really intense stuff with all the timings itself, Tim.
And we're riding on board with Nightshades now, your possibly but not guaranteed soon-to-be champion. You see how hard he is driving this car. He knows what's on the line. The gap between him and Burmeister is 4.7 seconds. If Burmeister gains another 1.3 seconds, Burmeister will get his first podium, and Nightshades will lose out on the championship. But if Nightshades is able to stay as close as he is now, then Nightshades will get third place, and Harry will not be able to win this championship, and Nightshades will instead. It's going to be close. It's lap 30 of 31. Just 2 more laps to go.
2 more laps to go. But look at the tyre wear, Tim. Look at the tyre wear. 19 laps Nightshades has done. Burmeister, 17 laps of those hard tyres. And look at that gap now. The gap is getting bigger. And now going over 5 seconds. This is going to be intense stuff. We're on the penultimate lap. Can Nightshades hold on for third place, or will try and keep within the gap, or will Burmeister hold on to get his podium and cause the inevitable out of nowhere that Harry would win the Drivers' Championship? 6 tenths now. 6 tenths on coming up to the penultimate lap, Tim.
This is so close, and you know that Nightshades, he has worked hard all year long, and to lose it in the final race would just be gutting for him. Harry, meanwhile, he has worked hard all season long as well, but he does not have the wins to show for it that Nightshades does. So this is going to be very close. If Harry won tonight, it would be his first win of the season. He has not won a race. He has only finished on the podium a couple times, when Nightshades has multiple wins on this season. So it would almost be an injustice as far as Nightshades is concerned for him to not win this championship. But as far as Harry's concerned, well, he don't care. He just wants to win. And Burmeister, he's in third. He just wants to hold on to that podium position. You brought up a good you brought up a good point about the tire wear, Malc, is that it's so very close. Harry has 21 laps on those hard tires. Burmeister has 18 laps on those hard tires. Nightshades now has 20 laps on those hard tires as we are in the final lap of this race, and it is going to come down to the wire. Nightshades has less than half a second to the good for his championship hopes, while Harry can do nothing but continue to drive forward and try to win this race and just hope that everything behind him works out in his favor. You see Harry there. He is just now approaching the second sector. As we ride on board with him, there is some lap traffic ahead, but that should not come into play. He has clean air ahead of him, and he doesn't have anyone behind him. But the question is, will Nightshades stay close enough to Burmeister, or will he not? Burmeister, there you see him in third.
Oh my God, Tim, look at TL4 the gap. I know 3 seconds is much, but he's been on the mediums. Harry's been on the hards on the over 21 laps, as correctly as you said. But that's going to be close. Well, I say it's going to be close, but TL4 is trying everything he can to close the gap. But the gap that we're looking at now is Burmeister and Nightshades, because that's going to be the crucial point. Can Burmeister hold on? If he gets one more penalty, that is it. Nightshades will be... Oh my God, we're on the limiter. We're on the limiter. We're on the absolute limiter.
Here is Harry rounding the final corner to win in Singapore, his very first win of the season. But what about Burmeister and Nightshades? TL4S finishes in second. Burmeister is 5.9 seconds ahead of Nightshades. 5.9, 5.9, 5.9 still. 5.9 still for Nightshades. It's going to be so close. It's 6.0, 6.0. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Harry is the champion. Harry is the Invictus Racing League Realism Performance Champion by 1 single point. If I've done my math correctly, I will get you the confirmation here in just a minute. But Harry wins in the AlphaTauri and might have just won the championship.
What a drive. If it is, we'll get that confirmed in a moment too, guys. I know we're on the edge of our seats, but we're just double checking just to make sure on here. But well done to Harry. What's that, Tim?
Harry has won the championship by 1 single point.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable stuff from Harry. But then again, the constructors, that is the most crucial point of it all. Nightshades and Wojtek, they're in 4th and 8th. They're in 4th and 8th, so Nightshades got 17. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So Wojtek.
Congratulations to Harry. While Malc figures out the constructor standings, congratulations to Harry. He has won the championship by 1 single point. Here's the math that I'm looking on. Nightshades with 203 points has scored 17 points today. That puts his total up to 220. Harry B has scored 25 points. That puts his total up to 221, along with the additional 196 that he had. So 196 plus 25 is 221. If I've done my math correct here, I've got the calculator. Now the question is, though, Malc, who had the fastest lap? That is going
the fastest lap. It was done by Stephen, but then again, we might get it confirmed in a moment to just be. I did check earlier on, but I wanted to make sure from this situation itself. But from the way it looks, yeah. So it's 3.
So if Stephen got the fastest lap, then that's it. Harry has won the championship. Harry has won the championship if Stephen has the fastest lap. If Nightshades has the fastest lap, then things are going to be a lot different. Sir Spud does.
Has got the yes, Sir Spud
then
has got the
it is official.
lap.
Harry B has won the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance Championship. Congratulations to Harry B. He got it in the race, and he got his first and only win of the season. Here are your official results for the Singapore Grand Prix. Harry, your champion, winning the race. TL4S in second place, getting a podium. Burmeister with his first ever podium in third. Nightshades, so close, but no cigar, finishing in the fourth position. Gareth Hall in fifth. Sixth is Ryan. Maddie in seventh. Eighth is Wojtek. Ninth is Ginger Tiger. Sab in 10th. Oh, Steven in 11th. 12th is Sir Spud. Bendo Biz in 13th. 14th is Nitro Gash. That is your race results for the Singapore Grand Prix. We will talk to our top 3 finishers after this race here in just a few moments' time, and one of them is going to be our champion.
Absolutely, and it's just been absolutely intense stuff. We'll just get the drivers in, we'll get Harry, TL4S and Burmeister, if they are available, to join us tonight. But what a race, Tim. What a race. Brought it up on the final race, the final race of the season of the Invictus Racing League on Season 12. What a finale, as we see. But congratulations to Harry for just at the nick of time to win the Drivers' Championship. But we'll get the constructors in a moment or two, guys, so don't go anywhere. Just to be there, I'm just going to try and get the drivers in. So
and
just bear
here
with me
is a nice little nugget of information for you, Malc, that it has been brought to my attention by Pass Ma Ducel, actually, or Pass now, as we call him, is that the championship was decided by only 0.2 of a second. That is
mad.
Insanely close.
I know, you can't get any better than that, can you? You can't get any better than that at all. But mad scenes, to be fair. We're just trying to get the drivers into the commentators box to hear their thoughts. So just bear with me a sec, guys. But if you want to say congratulations to Harry for the Drivers' Championship, congratulations and commiserations also to Nightshades, who missed out by 0.2. Absolutely mad. He'll be fuming. He'll be absolutely fuming that he missed out by 0.2 to win a title on the Performance League as well. So absolutely insane stuff. But I believe Harry has just joined in. We're just waiting for TL4S and also Burmeister, if they are available. If not, we'll get Tim to start off with the questions itself. So we'll give him a minute, but let me have a look at the comments quickly. So yeah, well, everyone's saying well done to Harry. Congratulations to TL4S and Burmeister for their first podiums. And you said earlier on, Tim, Pass Mardu just said that this championship was decided on the drivers by 0.2. By 0.2, and that is mad, absolutely mad. I believe we've got Harry and TL4S now. Before you say anything, guys, please make sure you allow a voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings and make sure you allow a voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. So while the guys are slowly getting themselves ready to go, Tim will be doing the questions to these guys to hear Harry's thoughts of winning the race for the first time this season, and also winning his second championship of the drivers this season. So that's impressive stuff from him as well. And then we've got TL4S, who's done a stellar of a job and put a lot of pressure near the end of the race itself. So guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah.
Nice one. So we've got Sab joining in as well. So but yeah, guys, before you say anything, Tim will be starting the questions to hopefully to Harry, to TL4S, and also Burmeister to hear their thoughts of their top 3 finishes. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours, mate.
So first things first, we're going to talk to Harry. You heard it from Malc if you didn't know it already. You are the champion, but I don't know if you know just how close you got to losing that one. You are champion by 1 single point, and you won it by 0.2 of a second. That was the gap between Nightshades and Burmeister there at the end. And it just so happens that you won the championship in the only race that you won all season long. What are your emotions like right now, Harry?
I'm shaking. I mean, the drivers for me was always going to be a bonus. When I joined Performance, obviously, I wanted to join it with friends. Obviously, I started off teammates with Charlie. Sab started off teammates with Scott, and obviously, since at the start of the season, obviously, me and Sab got partnered together, which was both sort of, I suppose making the best of a bad situation, and just through consistency, we sort of hang in there all season long. And obviously, anything can happen in Singapore. But I mean, I was watching the Delta. I just knew it was going to be crazy close. I didn't think it was ever going to be as close as it was. I mean, massive credit to JJ. I mean, he's driven far beyond, I think, any F2 driver on the grid. I think he's driven better over 12 races than a lot of F1 drivers this season. And he's improved a hell of a lot, and he really deserved the Drivers' Championship. But obviously, massive thanks to Sav as well, because even when he's had difficult races, like tonight, him beating Stephen would have been enough. Even if JJ had got third, Sab putting in the crazy last laps hold up Stephen, even though Stephen was on softs. I'm just really delighted.
What was it about Singapore that allowed you to get this win? Because you've been so close so many times throughout the season. You've had multiple podiums, but you have not been able to get that win, and you did it tonight when it mattered the most.
Well, I think this is the fourth time I've won in Singapore in Invictus. So it's definitely a truck I like. The difference, purely the car. There's quite a big difference between. There's not so much difference between the Williams, between the Haas, between the Alfa, say, but when you make the step up into the AlphaTauri, is quite a big gap, I'd say. So, this being my first chance in AlphaTauri, I knew I had to sort of make the most of it. Avoiding damage on lap one was definitely the absolute key. And then just having managed to just sort of pick up through the field a little bit, being aggressive, and then just being with the undercut to get clear air. And I knew then my pace would be enough to put me somewhere along the way. And obviously Tom came very close towards the end. I think if he pitted a couple of laps earlier, I think he would have been right up my rear wing. So that would have been interesting as well.
Well, congratulations, Harry, on the win and your championship. I'm going to let you go ahead and celebrate.
Thank you.
So now we'll talk to TL44S in second place. TL44S, you started on the hard tires, then you went to the medium tires, and that really made all the difference in you getting the podium today, because you were just a rocket ship through that second stint. When you got by Nightshades and Maddie, and you were even able to get yourself into the podium position, I just knew that you were going to be in the podium. But I saw you had the time penalty. I knew it was going to be close. Did you think that you were going to be able to have a podium going into this race today?
I just want to start off by saying well done to Harry and Sab on the titles and they're on his first podium. But I knew it was going to be hard coming from the back of the grid. So that's why I decided to start on the hards, and I knew I'd have decent pace with the McLaren. So I went for the overcut, which worked out well. I think I came out in 5th or 6th, and I knew from Monday as well that the medium were so much quicker in the second stint than the hards. So I knew it'd be tough, and it was unfortunate to get that penalty because I didn't get any warnings after that. So I could have been pushing Harry quite hard for the win at the end. But really happy to get second anyway.
Well, congratulations, TL4S. You ran a magnificent race, and I'm sure that you're happy with second, even though the win would have been even sweeter. But we'll talk to Burmeister now in the Renault. Burmeister, it looked for a while that you were going to be able to sail on to your very first win in the Invictus Racing League. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but you still were able to get your very first podium. So just put into words how that feels for you today. And I'm sure that you, well, actually, I know that you are very excited because I already heard how excited you are. Now, what does this mean for you and your future in Invictus? Do you think that next season you're going to be able to hit the ground running and maybe start contending for podiums right out of the gate? So, Burmeister, do you have your voice share set to always allow? Because you got in here a little bit late, and I don't think that you have voice share on. Anyway, congratulations to you, Burmeister, on your very first podium. I guess let me know here in just a moment if you're able to fix that, but we'll go ahead and
It's fixed now. It's fixed now, man.
It is wonderful. Wonderful. So just go ahead and get excited for us again and just tell everyone how you feel.
Well, I feel... Now, like I said before, my voice wasn't able to share, but like I said before, yeah, this race was great, and in the end it was my goal to finish first. But I also knew that Harry would be quick in the AlphaTauri and Tom as well on the alternate strategy in the end, so yeah, I let him by. And the last 15 laps were yeah, just time trial laps for me to get the 6 seconds on Nightshades, because I picked up some penalties. And like I said before, I also want to say sorry to Nightshades and say congratulations to Harry and Tom. Of Harry and Sab, I'm sorry. And also Tom for the podium.
Alright, well that was Burmeister. Now we will talk to Sab. So, Sab, you had a very, very rough race, but I'm sure that it's a little bit bittersweet for yourself because you are one of 2 drivers that get to celebrate the Constructors' title today. So, how does that feel for you, especially considering that you had a roller coaster of a race to deal with?
Yeah, today wasn't my best race, probably one of my worst races, and it was the worst time to have one of my worst races when the title's on the line, but yeah, I went for the hard strategy. It didn't work for me, and it was just a case of trying to maintain that 10th place and bring home enough points to help us secure the Constructors. But this is my second Constructors win. I won the first one with Tom, who's also in here, and yeah, this is just as good a feeling. I'd like it to have not been as close and be a bit more comfortable, but we got it won in the end, and that's all that counts. And yeah, it's my favourite league I've raced in here in Invictus, the realistic performance. It's good fun being able to race with guys that are usually quicker than me, so yeah, it's good to get another trophy.
Well, congratulations to you and Harry both on your constructor standings. So, Malc, do you have any closing thoughts? Malc, are you still with us?
Sorry. I just want to say a massive congratulations to Harry for the drivers, and I want a massive congratulations to Sab as well for the constructors with Harry. So they've done an absolute stellar of a job throughout this season, and absolute stellar of a job wherever they do in carrying on next season or whatever happens. But overall, I think this season it's been an absolute blast, and absolute congratulations to all drivers that have participated, because it's been another roller coaster of a ride by 2/10 of the last race on season 12 of the Performance League, Tim.
Yeah, it was an intense race, and it was an intense points battle. And really, the whole race, we were just behind the scenes trying to do the math and figure out who was where, and as far as where the championship standings stood, both constructors and drivers. And just again, a massive congratulations, I've got to say, to Harry and to B-Tech Racing for not only getting the Drivers' Championship, but the Constructors' Championship as well. You really could not cut it any closer than we did today. So this is going to be one to remember for a long time through the history of Invictus Racing League. And I'm glad that you and I were able to be here to commentate on this. It was such a fun race, and I think that that's just about all that we have time for, because we got a couple guys that want to go celebrate. So until next time, have a good evening, have a good life, have fun, enjoy the racing. Goodbye.